Welcome back to the Lemmings Stampede level solving commentary video series, and this is it. This is the final video for the series, and so we'll be finishing up the final 10 levels of the pack, which essentially means the all 10 levels of the Havoc rank. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, Havoc 1, Lemming Nature. Okay, to start off the Havoc rank, I remember this one being quite a difficult level. This one also took me a long time before I finally solved it. Yeah, but it's a really nice puzzle though. Yeah, there's a lot of things where it can trip you up if you are not careful. In particular, yeah, skill shortages is a huge problem here. Yeah, with the skill set you're given, because you're given either 2 or something or 1 or something. Okay, so first lemming on the left entrance will build here. This should be enough time before anyone is able to slip by, I think. Yes, more than enough time. Alrighty, and then first lemming on the right entrance will bash towards the left entrance. And then at this point, I max out the release rate. Alrighty, and then with the lemming that just turned around in the basher tunnel to the right, I go ahead and mine, yeah, so that we can get down here. Okay, and then last lemming in this group here on the right side with the right entrance will mine here, so that he's the only lemming over here in this area. He gets a floater so that he survives. Okay, patch up this gap with a builder. Yep, and the rest should be easy now. So send over a climber, and I think it has to be the floater. No, not necessary. It doesn't have necessary to be the floater. Yeah, you can send anyone out as a climber, because all this have to do is to get down here and bash the crowd out, and that's already it. So very nice level here, but I remember this one being a difficult one. Yeah, and it took me a while before I solved it. Yeah, there were a lot of things where yeah, part I just put some of the skill assignments wrong, and then therefore I ran into problems and couldn't solve it until I found that solution that I just showed off. Anyway, Havoc 2, Polar Pass. Okay, and this is credited to both Bullet Ride and Crane. Yeah, now Bullet Ride, I've never got to know him because he was inactive long before I came along. And Crane, I got to know him pretty well on Discord, and I like the fact that we are I like the mathematical discussions that we've been having. Yeah, that's been a lot of fun. Just knowing that there's someone out there, yeah, in this community who also shares my love with math. My love of math. And there's a couple other members in this community as well. Okay, this one I remember being difficult as well. Although I think my biggest problem I had here was wondering, okay, how in the world do we get to the other side? Yeah, with the Exodus. Yeah, especially considering we have a huge water gap that we need to get over. Alright, so first lemming that turns back to the left will build. And then I block after he's done. Okay, and then I build up to the right. Yes. And then after one lemming turns back to the right, yeah, I go ahead and mine the blocker free, so that everyone will be trapped in this infinite loop, while one goes on ahead to the right. Yeah, the builder will stop and turn around, and be contained with the rest of them. Okay. Then we get a floater to get down here safely. Yes, and then this should take the remaining 2 builders, I believe. Yes. 2 builders is enough to have them survive the fall. Okay, and then once he's done, then we go ahead and block. And then, at this time, I go ahead and release the crowd by putting back another blocker. So, reinstating the blocker that was freed before. Yeah, not necessarily with the same lemming that blocked before, but we do block again so that everyone can go to the right now. So now we can now get down here safely. And then finally, all that's left to do is to bash towards the exit. And that's already it. So, somehow I'm thinking the solution isn't exactly intended, particularly since I have a miner left over. Okay, and then do I... Yeah, I do nuke. Okay. It just took a while for me before I activated it there. So, all in all, another very nice level there, I thought. Havoc 3. a not-so-simple puzzle. Yes. And it is definitely appropriately named, because it is a deceivingly tough puzzle. Yeah, and I remember this one also taking me a while as well. So here you have almost a maxed out release rate. Yeah, it's just one off. Yeah, but no, instead you have a 98 release rate. And so as you can see, this is evident because there is still some spacing in between the lemmings. So first lemming, I will get a blocker to turn the rest of the crowd around. Okay, and then I believe I just sent a couple over? Or maybe not. Oh, yes I do. So I'll block with the second lemming down here, while sending out one ahead to the left. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and build over the gap here. I mean, the trap, sorry. Want to make sure. Alrighty, in this group I send up a climber to the right, and then, was that the final one? Yeah, and then with the final lemming in the group, I go ahead and dig down. Yeah, so that, so basically the climber and diggers will time in such a way so that when the climber is up there, he can go ahead and bash to the right and also release the blocker. But at the same time, it also becomes low enough so that the blocker cannot go out to the right and get killed by the trap. Okay, and this digger will also serve another purpose, not only to release the crowd, but also to release the blocker as well. Okay, and then finally all there's left to do is to build over to the final gap to the exit, and that's it. And then finally give the... oh no. Does he even need a floater? It doesn't seem like he does. No, so it appears that floater was not necessary. Yeah, however, I think I can see why the floater is needed, though. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and check something here. Yeah, so I think it's just the, in the case where when you release the blocker with a basher, the release lemming will just be on this higher area. Yeah, and just check with the splat ruler, and just is splat height. So I think in the case that that happens, yeah, then the floater is just there. Just as an insurance, you can say. But here, yeah, I was able to solve it without using the floater. So this should be perfectly fine, though. But yes, the lower title here is quite appropriate, because it is a very deceivingly tough puzzle. Yeah, it is definitely not a so simple puzzle. Definitely not. Yeah, because this one, that below also took me a while before I solved it. In particular, the beginning part is very difficult, and if you try other things, you essentially won't be able to stop the crowd from going out to the left, I believe. And even if you do block them on the starting platform, yeah, with entrances, then essentially it should not be possible to release the blocker and then still solve the low. Because I believe that would just end up taking too many skills. In particular, I think it might require one more basher than you already have, or than you are given, and you don't have that, I believe. Anyway, Havoc 4, After Dark Part 2. Okay, so this is the basically the sequel to Wild 10. Yeah, because Wild 10, if you recall, is After Dark Part 1. Yeah, here we have Part 2. And honestly, I feel like Havoc 4 was the only easy low of the Havoc rank. Yeah, honestly, Part 2 just felt easier than Part 1. So first lemming here will build here. So essentially, I did the exact same layout, just a different skill set. One lemming will slip by here. Yeah, everyone else be contained in this area. Alrighty. So this is the part, yeah, that uses this side for the solution. So then I bash out here. Yeah, and then the lemming that's trapped down here gets a climber, so that he can get himself back out. Alrighty, and then what do I do here? So go ahead and block, and then the climber's coming up right now. So yes, I think the reason why this low felt easier than Part 1 is only because I tried some things over here in Part 1, which ultimately don't work. But fortunately they do here in Part 2. So then of course build over this gap. Alrighty, bash on through. Okay, so give him... Oh, did I... looks like my replay got cancelled or something. Okay, let me go ahead and time skip back to where I was. Yes, it looks like maybe I did a slight tap on something, so that caused the replay to cancel. Because right here, I go ahead and build so that he turns around. We're going to use this to mine out the crowd. Yeah, and then I max out the release rate. And essentially, this is necessary because, yeah, I need 2 lemmings to go on ahead. Actually, maybe that wasn't really necessary, but, okay. I dig here, and then I release the crowd with the climber that's up here. Yeah, and I believe it has to be the climber because, yeah, if you dig it in anywhere else, yeah, then the digger's just gonna keep on going. Yeah, and we can't afford that because we can only lose 1 in this level. So I believe the difference here, other than the skill set, is part 1 was a save all solution, I think, or rather a save all level. While this one, you can afford to lose 1. Yeah, and that's already it. So no, it appears that it was not necessary to have 2 go on ahead. Instead, it was only necessary to just send 1 ahead. Okay, and then just nuke the blocker, and that's already it. But anyway, just like I said, yeah, I felt part 2 was easier than part 1. Havoc 5, Against the Grain. Alrighty. First lemming in the bottom entrance will block, yeah, to contain the crowd. And then similarly, in the top hatch, we're going to go ahead and block as well with the first lemming. And then, first lemming that goes back to the left, in the bottom entrance, we'll get a climber. Okay, and then I put a pass-through blocker down here with the top group of lemmings. Okay, dig down. And then, once low enough, then I go ahead and bash the blocker free. Okay, and then I go ahead and dig once the climber gets on top. Okay, and then, with a lemming in this group over here, I go ahead and mine so that we can release the blocker. Oh, did I? No, I did not. I thought I assigned something else in the meantime. Okay, and then I go ahead and cancel the the miner with the builder. Okay, and then the rest of these lemmings will get climbers. Let me see. So I'm guessing I'll give them all floaters here, except for 1. Oh yes, because the other one here is already a climber. Yeah, and then with the final lemming that's coming, yeah, that just fell over the blocker. Yeah, I'll go ahead and mine him free. And that's already it. Wait. Does this actually work? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right, he's a climber. I forgot. I was like, wait a minute, my replay didn't break, but it seems like it did here. But no, it's not. No, it's not. I forgot that he's a climber. So yes, that's already it. And have a floater left over, but it should be fine. Okay, habit 6, a trap well sprung. This one was another hard one. Yeah, this one also took me a while before I solved it. In particular, I think I were using a very messy and fiddly solution here. Although there is a timing element that is needed here, though. Okay, so first time he gets a climber. And yes, he is able to get over the well. Yeah, I think it's just mostly due to the tip of the nose there. Yeah, just being about level, I guess, with the overhang. So therefore, he can still climb out, despite the overhang being there. Alrighty, and then build. Okay, and then send out another climber from the crowd. Okay, and then I built just behind the first builder. Okay. Oh, I did not give him a floater. That's pretty interesting. Okay. And then with a lemming here, I go ahead and bomb. Let me see. He gets a floater, and then looks like he gets a floater. Not sure why though. Okay, and then bomb. So it appears that the only reason I gave them floaters is just to delay them long enough so that the bomber is able to make a hole underneath the bear trap, so that nobody can walk into it and die. So that appears to be the only reason I did that. Okay, so one of the floaters will go on ahead and mine here. Okay, and the miner should stop, I think. No. He keeps on going until he gets to the edge. Yeah, and then of course build over the water gap. Okay, bash to get to the exit. He'll just go on ahead and exit. And then at this time, I go ahead and send out another climber from the crowd. And then right here, go ahead and bomb. I believe this ended up being a bit pixel precise. Yeah. Taking out enough of the wall away so that everyone can still step out to the right. But at the same time, it also makes the right half still mountable as well. Still surmountable as well. Okay, and then max out the release rate. And then that's already it. Yeah, I believe another solution I saw, it pretty much involved like some kind of tricky timing here, I believe. But in the end, I guess it's like somewhat a little easier, maybe. Although, then again, now that I'm looking at my solution again, I don't think it was necessary for me to time in such a way. Yeah, it's a matter of fact, I could have bombed the crowd out like much later. And also, it appears that the lemming that went splat, he would have been lost anyway, because even if I did give him a floater, he would essentially be trapped down here. And I don't even have the skills to like free him later anyway, because I've already used a miner. But anyway, yeah, I remember this level being hard. Yeah, it took me a while. Alrighty, Havoc 7, when life gives you lemons. Okay, and there's a time limit of 5 minutes here. This one was also another hard one, but I really love the trick that's required in this level. As a matter of fact, yeah, this trick is later used in a Lemmings United level in the Genocide rank. Yeah, and according to Icho's commentary video series on his United pack, yeah, that's what inspired that Genocide level of his. Yeah, because of this trick that's required in this Lemmings Stampede level. Where is it? There it is. And this should be the final level in the pack that uses an original Lemmings music track. Yeah, yes. Okay, first Lemming will mine. Yeah, one will walk into the rope trap. Okay, max out the release rate. Okay, and then we go ahead and bash. Okay, and essentially this is a bit difficult. A bit difficult to get correct. Okay, because this is done in such a way so that we bomb the basher in mid-stroke, but at the same time we do it in such a way so that there's a lemming nearby that is able to use the basher staircase in order to be released from the pit. And he can be the only lemming that needs to be released. Yeah, everyone else needs to be contained. Yeah, so this is essentially the hardest part. But I believe the reason I max out the release rate is to get the timing correct so that this happens. And then of course build over the gap. Okay, he will get a climber. Okay, and then of course build over this gap. Yeah, 2 builders. He will turn around. Yeah, and now the other tricky part is that we also the builder staircase needs to, and the miner need to be placed in such a way so that the miner uses the builder staircase to keep on going, because we're going to be using the miner to release the crowd as well. So essentially, in other words, you have to bomb the basher at just the right distance. Yeah, in order for this to happen. And also the build staircase has to be very precise, because this is the part where you cannot allow the climber to turn around, because if he does turn around, then he'll essentially be trapped again with the crowd, and then there will be no way to get the crowd free. But this is placed just right. Yeah, so now the crowd is now able to go out to the right. And then at this time, I'll go ahead and send out 2 more climbers. Okay, bomb here, and then bomb here as well. And yeah, here it wasn't really necessary to have the timing very tight there. Yeah, the other climber should be coming. Okay, and then be able to get to the exit. He'll turn around, and then finally all that's left to do is to mine the crowd out, and that's already it. Yeah, he uses the builder staircase to keep on going. So I guess here I essentially could have placed the builders at the edge. Yeah, so that the miner does not need to use the builder staircase to keep on going. Oh, actually, no. It has to be this way because of the time limit. Yeah, if he is allowed to stop, yeah, essentially he will take this long way, but you'll run out of time long before he even gets to the exit. So no, this is absolutely necessary. So the miner builder combo is required twice here. But anyway, like I said, this is a very, very nice solve. It was a very difficult one, but it was extremely satisfying to solve. Yeah, to figure out and solve. Yeah, I especially love the tricks that's needed here. In particular, the stopping the basher mid-stroke with a bomber and releasing 1 lemming. Yeah, that was extremely clever. I was very, very amazed, yeah, when I figured that out. So, very, very well done to Bullet right there. And then Havoc 8, Precision. Yes, and from what I remember, I used an extremely fiddly trick here that essentially not many people will know about. And because I use a very difficult and fiddly trick, essentially I made this level harder on myself than I needed to. Alright, first lemming out on the right entrance will block. And as a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, I just do the work with the right entrance. So second lemming will mine. And that's right, yeah, this is only 4 lemmings level. So two from each entrance here. Okay, and then once the miner breaks through, then we go ahead and build. Okay, and then bash. So that we release the blocker. Now here comes the extremely fiddly trick, I believe. So here, let me go ahead and do frame stepping here. Yeah, so here, at this exact position, I block so that it turns the basher around, but at the same time, the blocker gets released. Yeah, this is extremely fiddly and very difficult to pull off because it is very, very precise. Requires very good precision. Okay, and then bash on through. And then mine with one of the lemmings at the top hatch here. Okay, and this was essentially done in such a way so that we can bounce the miner off with a blocker. Yeah, so now the miner will mine towards the exit. And that's already it. Yeah, and here, essentially here, I think what matters is that the further the lemming touches the gun or the flame, yeah, in order to get torched and killed. But here, since his feet did not touch it, yeah, then essentially he is safe from it. Yeah, and then of course just nuke the blocker. So yes, I did see another solution, and definitely a lot easier than the one I used here. Because again, the trick I use is extremely fiddly and very difficult to do. Yeah, because it requires extreme precision. Alrighty, Havoc 9, Acid Washed Lemmings. Okay, this was yet another difficult level. Yeah, which also took me a while.
Let's go.
Okay, second lemming I send out as a climber. Okay, and then I build to patch up this gap. There should be enough time before anyone slips through. Yes, that's the reason for making the second lemming a climber. Okay. Build to get up here. But maybe not, because he turns around. Because here it appears that that is necessary so that we can mine the crowd out. And yes, the miner was placed in such a way so that he goes into one of the holes here, so that he is able to turn back to the right. Okay, and then I'll send 2 more climbers to the right. Okay, there we get floaters, as this is flat height. Okay, the first one will block, and the other climber will turn around and build. Okay, and now what happened? Oh yes, he gets a floater. Okay, do I bomb the blocker? I guess I do not. Oh, yeah, that's right. One needs to go down here. Or maybe both. Okay, so block with the first time it gets here, just before he falls off. Okay, and then turn around the blocker, and then we build. So yes, this appears to just simply be the splat. These builders appear to be the platforms for the crowd. Okay, and then at the start, I go ahead and bash the crowd out. Yes, and then I simply interrupt the bash in midstroke with a builder, and that's already it. And fortunately, the ceiling is thin enough so that everyone can still step out. So from what I understand, I don't think my solution is exactly intended, and I think I remember there being a much easier solution that I saw. Yeah, but what it is right now, I can't exactly recall the details here. Oh yes. And then, just when everyone has nearly exited, yeah, then I start the nuke already. But not to worry there, since only the blockers get nuked. And those are our only casualties were allowed. Alright, and the final level to round off the entire pack. Havoc 10, Wild Canyon. For the final level of the pack, yeah, definitely not the hardest. But it's still challenging, let's say.
Let's go.
But I think I remember this one using a pretty neat trick. Yeah, that I later saw in a couple of other levels in United. Alrighty, dig down here. Wait, do we have more than one entrance here? No, we only have one entrance. Okay. Oh yes. So with let me inside this digger pit. I go ahead and bash out to the left. Okay, and this was essentially done at such a time so that any lemmings that step out, yeah, will be able to turn back to the right and be contained in the digger pit again. Yeah, as I only send out the basher. And then what happened? Okay, so yes, I put a blocker on the digger's right side so that the digger will turn to the left. So there's that blocker turns the digger around trick there. Okay, and then build on the very last pixel, yeah, before he falls to the vine swamp. Alrighty, and then at this time I go ahead and bash with the digger. Essentially here, how much leeway do I allow here? Okay, there's still a couple pixels leeway before they go splat. Okay, and then this should take 2 builders. Yes, 2 builders exactly. And then we're gonna go ahead and send up a climber. Okay, bash on through here. Oh, bash for a bit and then mine. Okay, and then coming back to the right, we'll go ahead and mine here. Okay, and then once we are over here underneath the steel, then we go ahead and bash. Okay, and here's the trick that's needed here. Okay, so once the basher is done, then we build in such a way so that he leaves the builder step past the wall, but at the same time he turns around. Okay, and then at this time I go ahead and bash in such a way so that only a little bit of this builder staircase is chipped off. But this is enough for them to land on this builder staircase that was just laid down. Okay, so that's the main trick that's needed here. Alrighty, and then I go ahead and dig here. Okay, and then I go ahead and bash to the left. Okay, and I believe the reason why this was done this way is so I can get the climber up here, I believe. Yeah, it is important that the climber gets up here. Yeah, as he needs to access this area over here. So this could be a little difficult to pull off. Alrighty, and then we go ahead and mine here. Alrighty, and then we go ahead and build. Yeah, so it looks like he was able to do that with just one builder. Okay, and then mine down to the crowd. And yes, it is important that he does it with just one builder, because we need a builder here, and then one final builder here to get to the exit. Okay. So it looks like I do that with one of the last lemmings here. Yeah, he turns around. Yeah, giving the climber enough of a lead to go over the last gap. Yeah, and essentially we have to do it this way, or find the correct timing, because there are no floaters here. So therefore, anyone who falls through, yeah, will spot. And that's already it. Very, very nice load to finish off the entire pack. Yeah. And essentially it was a very huge sense of satisfaction and accomplishment upon beating this level. Yeah. Because it felt really, really good to finally finish Lemmings Stampede after being stuck for a while here. Although certainly not as long as some level packs. Yeah, some other level packs that I played. Most notably, United has been the biggest offender for being stuck the longest. But that's to be expected, since it is an extremely difficult pack. But now, essentially, Nepsa Lems has now taken that that title. Yeah, because as I have now been stuck on one of the lows the longest out of any other out of any low in United. So there's the record for that now. Alrighty, so with the completion of Havoc 10, that brings us back to the first level, which is Tame 1. So, this therefore concludes the Lemmings Stampede level solving commentary video series. So, if you've been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and seeing my solutions to these levels that I found. Or you're probably in the process of maybe playing the pack and then, yeah, maybe want to like compare solutions. Fortunately, in addition to Icho's solutions, there's now my solutions. And of course, if Icho is watching, yeah, then he can definitely compare his solutions to mine. Although, another thing that I am not so sure about is, I'm not sure if with the conversion, if any solutions of his broke. Yeah, I'm guessing none of them did, but I could be wrong though. Yeah, and of course he could be more than happy to tell me if that has been the case or not. But anyway, yes. That's pretty much the whole point of this video series. Yeah, in that I wanted to show off my solutions to these lows. And again, I'm not really too worried about fixing up back routes because once again, I don't have any intended solutions from Bullet Ride. So therefore, I don't exactly know what he intended for any of these lows. But for the most part, I think pretty much tame and almost all crazy. You could just it's just a solve any way you can. It's just once you get into the wild rating, probably. Yeah, the rest of them, maybe he did have an intended solution in mind, but because I don't have any intended solutions from him, yeah, I say don't worry too much about it because I'm not going to be worried about fixing up these lows due to back routes and stuff. Instead, I'm just going to be fixing up lows in case there are any issues with like the terrain or something in some of these lows, such as maybe kinks or holes that resulted from the conversion when they're not supposed to be there. But one other person has there's only one other person who has played through the conversion of Lemmings Stampede for new formats, Neo Lemmings, and he hasn't reported any issues with any of the lows. So that must mean that the conversion went completely without a hitch. So I guess that is good to hear and good to know. But anyway, yes, this is the Lemmings Stampede level solving commentary video series. So I hope you enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, you've been watching, and what can I say? I can't emphasize enough how very good this pack is. Yeah, despite it being a difficult one. Yeah, I just really like the pack a lot. Hence, that's the reason why I decided to take up the conversion to new formats Neo Lemmings in my own hands and make it available for the community to download and play. Yeah, because now we people don't have to worry about playing Lemmings Stampede on old formats Neo Lemmings. In other words, grabbing an old version of the Neo Lemmings player and playing the pack. Yeah, now we can just download the most recent Neo Lemmings player version and play the pack. So this is definitely a step towards in that direction and getting packs up to date and not having to worry about getting old versions of the Neo Lemmings player to play packs. But yes, with this, this concludes another project, and tune in next time and keep an eye out for future videos that I will upload. Perhaps my next project will be another Lemmings level pack that I'll be LPing. Even though I just recently finished an LP several hours ago. So because of that, I may take about a few days break or so, yeah, before I start it. Or I may just like end up doing maybe possibly more conversions, yeah, if I find a suitable one to do. Either for maybe Super Lemon or maybe another one for New Formats Neo Lemmings. But yes, just keep an eye out, yeah, for whatever becomes available, whatever videos become available of mine that I upload. So with this, I hope you all have a nice day.